So with the release of Boruto to Blue Vortex, it has been very apparent that the show has been getting into a heavier focus with the side characters. This is pretty much one of the biggest major complaints that a lot of people have had reading the original Boruto manga, and how the anime was the one that was there to correct all of the issues that were outstanding with the manga. Now, I'm not saying this as a criticism to the manga, because I think the manga is amazing, the manga is great, but this is where the anime steps in and complements with the manga, as every time they adapt manga canon content, they are always going to go beyond and above when it comes to adding extra material that is essential to developing not just the main characters, but the side characters. And so, obviously, with To Be Vortex, it has gone to another level in the manga where we see characters getting power-ups and character definitions that actually add more character to them and just improve their overall character. We have characters like Sumire, we have characters like Sarada, and while their characters are definitely not complete, I think that is actually a good thing, because it continues to show the progression of the show. It doesn't just get to give power-ups to characters like Sarada, who unleashes the Mangekyo Sharingan, and then that's it. We can clearly see that her Mangekyo Sharingan is a Mangekyo Sharingan. It has its own weaknesses. You know, obviously, if she overuses it, she's going to get blind. And even in terms of just character overall, it's not complete. We want to see her become the Hokage and you know, yada 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 and all of that. But my main point being, we are actually going to be taking a look at Sarada and Sumire. Obviously, Sarada and Sumire have been getting a lot of focus in the previous chapters, especially the previous arc. Obviously, as we're going into a new arc dealing with Mamushi and the other Shinju clones, the previous arc where they were fighting in the sand is very interesting, because it takes a look at the dynamic between Sarada and Sumire, where, you know, it's basically this whole love triangle about love, and, you know, Sarada's trying to really appreciate her feelings and trying not to deny them. And it actually turns out, you know, that even after a lot of encouragement from Yodo, you know, Yodo gives up her life, and this is what actually happens, where, you know, Sarada awakens her Mangekyo Sharingan. And so at the end of this arc, you know, they squash the beef. They squash the beef and they talk about how, hey, you know what, let's just squash the beef. We both like this guy. It is what it is, right? And so fast forward to Boruto to Be Vortex chapter 26, where we see Damon confronting Sarada and Sumire, because the worst has just happened. Obviously, as we all know, if you look back at the previous chapters, especially when you go back to not To Be Vortex, but part 1, Shikamaru was assigning Team 7 their mission and explained to them that, Sarada and Sumire, you do not want Ada to figure out that you guys seem to be, you know, you guys are the saving hope. You know, don't let Ada find out that you guys are not subject to her clairvoyant powers, right? Still to this day, we don't know why they're immune to it, but, you know, people have been theorizing about it, which is pretty cool to see. But it seems like that day might be coming to an end, as we see Damon confronting them about it. If you haven't seen it, you can look at chapter 26. And that's why, as we await for the next chapter to come out, we're waiting for the preview, which should come out within the next few days, and also, you know, the spoilers. We're going to be taking a look at why I think there is a problem between this fight. I don't even think there's probably going to be a fight either way, but I want to take a look at this potential interaction that could possibly happen in the next chapter of Boruto, as we await more information regarding Mamushi and, you know, what he's going to do in the story. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Oh, and by the way, guys, if you're enjoying this video, it would make the world if you guys could subscribe to the channel and hit on that like button. It means a lot. But without further ado, you know, if you love that Boruto content and manga content, it means a lot. Follow me, because that's pretty much what I cover. So yeah. So I think we first need to get a recap on Damon, because Damon is one of the strongest characters in the verse. We've always known that ever since he was introduced as the little brat who absolutely decimated Code in his full power. We are introduced to Damon in chapters 58, 59. I don't know which chapter it is exactly, but I think it's 59. And in that chapter, we see Ada telling Code that, hey, I have another person that I consider to be my knight. This turns out to be Damon, who is the brother to Ada. And Damon's whole existence is based around the fact that he says that he is Ada's knight. He's going to protect Ada from pretty much everything and anything. And that's kind of why Damon doesn't really have a main interaction when it comes to the main villains, because for him, all that concerns him is protecting his sister, you know? and he's not really going to go out there and be like, oh, I'm gonna fight Mamushi or I'm gonna fight Jura. You know, we haven't seen that yet, especially since he's just a little kid. But don't underestimate that little kid. Now, obviously, the power scaling in 2B Vortex has been going in a linear progression that kind of proves that Damon might actually be getting washed in the next few chapters. You can take a look at videos all over the internet. People have been talking about how, Jura literally put up a fight against, Boruto, who's gotten stronger over the years. He has Rasengan Uzukiko. He's mastered all of Sasuke's techniques. He's grown massively stronger. And so, him teaming up to fight Jura with Kawaki, one Boruto was literally struggling against him. I think it goes to show just how much the power scaling has gone up over time. And so, regardless of the power scaling, either way, what I'm trying to say is the power scaling has been going up. Characters have been getting stronger, and Sarada has also been getting stronger, right? She has unlocked the Mangekyo Sharingan. She's able to unleash the power of Ohirume. Is it Ohirume? It's such a hard word to say. I've tried saying it so many times. I think it's Ohirume. But yeah, still, this power is absolutely broken. But is it broken enough to actually get into a fight with Damon? And I think that's where the problem is, because I don't think there will be a fight. If you think about it, Damon realizing that Sarada and Sarada and Sumire rather, might actually have a resistance to the omnipotence jutsu. He thinks they're going to be a threat. But to Ada, I don't think she might see them as a threat. Obviously, yes, she's more at risk. But if you think about it, Ada has been conversing with the both of them a lot lately. She's pretty much, they are pretty much the only friends that she technically has, because that's the only people she can relate with. And so I just genuinely don't see a world where Damon is going to be like, okay, I'm going to kill the both of you. Rather, I see a world where Ada might actually let them live and be like, you know what, it's cool, And I think that adds character progression, which is my point at the beginning of the video. I was talking about how, the story has been taking that focus where it's like, now you have interesting plot points, not just between Sarada and Sumire. You also have Inojin, surprisingly, with Himawari, and just other characters in general. And this is what I love to see. And so, obviously, with the preview of 2B Vortex for chapter 27 coming out, we're going to be getting a sneak peek, and we're going to get to see if this might actually be true. And we're actually going to get to see how the story is going to be progressing in terms of, the new arc. What's next for the story? Who's the big bad? And so, yeah. But yeah, with that said, it's just a short video. I just wanted to talk about that in anticipation for chapter 27. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is going to be a fight? I don't think this fight is going to happen because, we got much bigger problems to deal with right now. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Definitely let me know what you guys think. This has been a video from me, The Fruit. I'll see you in another one. Peace.